Hey y'all, this is video 3 in my Let's Not Get Fired, Try to Save Your Job, What Do I Wear to Work series. And today we are talking about jewelry, makeup, perfume. Are you doing too much? Okay? Now, in the words of the great Jules Lebron, you see how I do my makeup for work? Very demure and very mindful. I don't come to work with green cut crease. I don't look like a clown when I go to work. I don't do too much. I'm very mindful while I'm at work. You see how I look very presentable? Okay? The way I came to the interview is the way I go to the job. A lot of you guys go to the interview looking like Marge Simpson and go to the job looking like Patty and Selma. Not demure. I'm very mindful. I'm very modest. You see my shirt? Only a little chee out, not my cho-cho. Be mindful. Be mindful of why they hired you. Here's your reality check, diva. What's the name you'd like me to make it up to? Honestly, I will never not love the very demure, very mindful spiel that Jules Lebron put out because it is so accurate. And really, girls, this is what you should be keeping in mind when you are going to work. When you are in an interview, be mindful of how you look. Be mindful of how or why they hired you. And that's how you should show up to the job. All right, my name is Yate Like Latte. I am a Toronto-based stylist of 5 years, and I've worked in corporate and banking for over 12 years. And I've also had to talk to people about their outfits. Yes, I have had to play that HR role where I pull you aside and let you know that your outfit is inappropriate. Yes, unfortunately. So I am uniquely qualified to talk about this. As I mentioned in the first video of this series, we need to put our critical thinking caps on, okay? Why do you want to be an office siren? Aren't you supposed to be doing the job you've been hired for? Like, people need to realize that how you show up in this space is how people are going to treat you and how people are going to remember you, right? Because first impressions matter a lot. Now, in my experience, I only do what I'm willing to keep up when it comes to my appearance. So, some girls, y'all are good for a full face beat every day. Eyebrows are laminated. You've gotten a lash lift, nails are done, toes are done. If that is your lane, all the power to you, stick to it. You look great. I love it when I see it. For myself, especially post panini, I have really pared down to just doing my eyebrows and doing my lip gloss. I even rarely wear mascara, especially to the office, because obviously I'm wearing my glasses. And I find, even though I found a mascara that doesn't crumble into my eyes, it's just like, is this something I'm willing to keep up for work? And the answer is no, not in the role that I currently occupy, right? Now, one of the things that you have to be mindful of is, let's say you are a full glam, full face, full beat type of girl. The minute you don't do that and you show up to the office, I can guarantee someone is going to ask if you were okay. And I'm sure some of you even experienced this in high school if you were someone that was into makeup in high school. Like, anytime a girl that normally had a full face wasn't wearing a full face, like, people would be like, are you sick? Is everything okay? You look tired. And trust me, post panini, people have lost their filters even more. So I can guarantee you someone will bring it up, okay? Now, let's talk perfume, all right? I know for a lot of you, especially being on TikTok, like, I didn't realize people had such expansive fragrance collections, if we will. So this, unfortunately, in most corporate spaces is a no-go. A lot of offices are scent free now, so that can even be like if your laundry detergent or dryer or whatever's are too strong. So most places are scent free. I would just skip the perfume, cologne, if possible, okay? And I have actually seen someone addressed about this because, like, I don't know if it was their dryer pods, you have like the unscentables or scentables, the little pellet thingies. Like, it was just so strong and someone complained. And I think people have like underestimated how strong some of these scents can really be in an enclosed space. So, definitely to keep that in mind. Again, I'd say no perfume, but if you really want to, very lightly. Now, just a little story time. I used to have a very fabulous boss who always looked great, and she loved the Burberry perfume. and y'all, you could smell her before you saw her, okay? And like, luckily that office was a bit more lenient, so no one ever really said anything about it. But there were times where I was like, oh my God, like, did you just re-spray when you got to the office? So if you must wear perfume, I highly recommend you like spray yourself at home and give yourself your commute for the smell to the fragrance to like dissipate a bit, because again, you don't want people to be able to smell you before you see you, and in most workplaces they shouldn't be able to smell you. Okay, per Jules Lebron, all right, I don't come to work with a green cut crease, right? Personally, again, as I said, I don't wear a ton of makeup, but keep that in mind. If you are going to wear makeup to work, it should be appropriate for a daytime look. And again, this is all based in the context, right? If you work at like Sephora head office, I don't think like having a full face and interesting makeup would be an issue, right? Like, you know, it's a company that sells makeup, so that might make sense. But in most corporate spaces, keep it super simple, keep it light, you know, don't do too much. On jewelry, I have 3 easy points, okay? 1, people pocket watch a lot. So if you're someone that wears a lot of jewelry, don't be surprised if you find out people are making judgments on how much money you have or make based on that. Not saying it's right, just putting it out there, okay? Number 2, be mindful of bracelets in particular. They can make a lot of noise, and you want to avoid being like a wind chime, especially in large meetings, and in like a conference room where the sound kind of echoes. You know, we've all been there, right? You're in a meeting, you're like writing notes, you're on your computer, and there's always like that one person who has like some charm bracelet or something, and it's just like making a ton of noise. So just be mindful of that. Again, I'm not saying don't wear bracelets, just be mindful that they can make a lot of noise, especially when you're in meetings in these conference rooms or like a smaller meeting room. It's a distraction. And thirdly, keep it simple, all right? I know everyone loves their jewelry stacks. You know, you love your Tiffany's, your Cartier, whatever. I don't know if y'all really got money like that, if those are real. I mean, I've been seeing a whole thing about fake Van Cleef bracelets. My point is wear whatever jewelry you want. Just keep it simple. This is not, again, a fashion show per se. And also, if you keep in mind point 1 and 2, people are pocket watching. People are, you know, keeping an ear out when they hear your arm wind chiming. So again, let's not do too much. It doesn't have to be a little, you know, you don't have to be like plain Jane Mouse out here, but just keep these things in mind when it comes to jewelry for work. Okay. All right, that's all for now, but I think we've covered, you know, a good breadth of topics here. Take from it what you will, but again, with someone, as someone who has the experience in the office and as a stylist and having to do that like HRE role, I'm just trying to give you the points so you can avoid any weird mishaps. All right, have a good day. See you soon. Ciao.